All right, guys. Today we are going to be reacting to this feminist infantilize adult women who date older men. Jump in, guys.
College guy who doesn't make any money? Like what?
I
In
think
your worldview,
if he's willing to give her money, like take her on dates and stuff.
20-year-old
then
college guys don't have money like that.
Not
Typically,
that
They
money.
can have a job.
bruh.
They can have a job.
Starving college student.
She's saying no over here. Even if they have a job, they're
But
probably
again, I don't think women.
debt.
I do think women should date older, just not like significantly older. Like
Yeah,
I think
I
women
understand
generally
the
prefer
argument
like
here.
3 to 5 years.
Do you think?
So just two very brief questions. Can you respond first to your first argument, which was that would be like dating my father? How come it's not like dating your brother to date someone 3 years older than you?
Because you don't have to deal with the mansplaining and like just dealing with someone who you don't
Mansplain.
understand. who
Your
you
brother
can't
doesn't
relate to.
mansplain? Don't lie.
No,
He
my brother does
mansplains.
not mansplain.
Okay, well, most people's brothers.
I
do
mansplained to my sisters.
So the
for
thing
sure.
is like, why? I don't understand how it is that even mansplaining would have a
mean,
difference
young
in
guys don't
age.
have-
Like, you think that because you're 20 and he's 25, that the mansplaining goes away? Because it doesn't
I
go
think
away.
it's to a lesser degree because I feel like older men, they talk to you like you don't know any better and you're just like
Because you don't. Because you don't. That's why you
literally a
don't.
child to them. But it's like, why are you attracted to me if I'm like a child to you? It's just weird.
That
I
was
don't
an
understand. What's
interesting
weird
line
about
of
it?
reasoning.
It's
Does
just
it give you the
weird. Like
ick?
it feels
Does it give you the
radio.
Does it give you the ick?
Yes, it does.
It gives you the ick. Well, let me ask you a question. Since we're on the ick, can you give me a single moral argument, a single one, for why it would actually be immoral for a 20-year-old woman to date or marry a 50-year-old man? Just a single argument that's actually shows that this is immoral.
Well, for the woman, I don't think it's immoral. I don't think it's immoral for younger women to like older people, or for younger
Okay?
people to
Why
like
is
older
it
people.
immoral
period.
for the 50-year-old man who has a woman who's 20 who's interested in him to be interested and reciprocate her feeling?
Because younger people, like I think, like once you're under the age of like 25, 21 maybe, you have higher levels of neuroticism, you are dealing with hot and cold cognition, you are dealing with peer pressure, you have a lack of identity.
So we shouldn't let him vote.
That's the close.
Let 'em
There you
know.
go. There you go. Yeah. Yeah,
I
there we
think
go.
that we can have like, I don't
In fact, we should-
necessarily.
That's that I like how he always set up that question. Because they tell the end themselves, right? They always do.
So we shouldn't let him vote.
Shouldn't let them vote.
Yeah.
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 I think that we can have like I don't
In fact, we should
necessarily.
make
I
them
think that certain
second-class
privileges
citizens
can be
until they're
afforded
26.
to. I think that certain levels of privileges can be afforded to different.
I don't understand
ages
if they're
and stuff like
neurotic
that.
and stupid and can't make these decisions, but somehow you're going to charge them with the fate of the nation? What? Can you
I mean,
explain
I
that
wouldn't be completely
rationale to
against
me?
it. I wouldn't be completely against it.
So you want to raise the voting age to 26. Okay, so then once they get 26
25.
and their Abdullah oblongatas fully developed or whatever, then it would be okay after the Abdullah oblongata reaches the fruition of Abdullah oblongataness for them to then date a man who's 50 at 26, right?
Yeah, I don't like. For example, right? I don't think that there would be any moral issue with like a man 50 dating a 30-year-old woman or like a 25-year-old woman.
Okay.
I
Do
don't
you help me
necess-
out with one more thing? The prefrontal cortex. I agree with you. It's fully developed in women at about age 26. But something interesting happens, and I'd like your take on this. Do you know that after it's fully developed, it starts to decay? So since it starts to decay, by the time you're
Interesting.
50, it's in a rapid state of decay, in fact, in most people. So isn't it the case then, if that's the truth, that a 50-year-old is actually probably more equally yoked with a 20-year-old because their prefrontal cortex is in a state of decay, just like the 20-year-old?
No, it's just not.
Why?
Because that 50-year-old actually has knowledge and life experience, whereas that's.
Oh, so it doesn't come down to the prefrontal cortex, it comes down to knowledge.
I never said it came down to the prefrontal cortex
Yes, you
necessarily.
did. That was your primary
I
argument.
said
You
that
the
you're dealing with
neurotic is
higher
this and
levels
that
of
because prefrontal
neuroticism, a
cortex.
lack of self-identity. You're dealing
So
with
the
high
same
and
things
cold
you would find in
cognition.
a 50-year-old due to the prefrontal cortex.
I wouldn't. I would have to see some research on that. I
Yeah,
wouldn't be
this
sure.
is so
I mean,
emotional.
It decays after 26. You can look it up, right?
She's just being so emotional about this argument.
It decays after 26 years old, becomes in a state of decay. So that means it's been decaying for what, 20 years? So wouldn't they be more equally yoked?
I mean, you could probably argue that there might be something immoral, like of like a younger woman dating like a 70-year-old or something, because they're really out of it. But like,
Oh yeah, so the
I wouldn't
20-year-old
see like
70,
a
that's
50-year-old
fine,
is
but 20-year-old
still
and
pretty
50, that's
cognizant
not.
to me.
So wait, so a 20-year-old and a 70-year-old, that would be fine, but a 20-year-old and a 50-year-old, not fine.
No, that would not be fine.
Why wouldn't it be fine?
I think that the 20-year-old would probably at that point, I think it would be sick on both sides at that point. Like,
So then what your argument here reduces to then? It would be sick even though they're mentally at about the same level. So does this mean then that no
they're
20-year-old
not
should date?
mentally at the same level.
Why aren't they? If a 70-year-old is in a state of mental decay,
The 70-year-old
right?
probably just doesn't remember things and forgets things, and like a 20-year-old is again dealing with higher
so the
levels
20-year-old
of,
would be taking advantage of the 70-year-old?
probably for its money. Or
Oh,
something.
there we go.
Oh,
She told on herself. They probably go. She's basically telling the sugar baby game. She's basically telling her own games. A 20-year-old probably would take advantage of the 70-year-old. There you go, right here.
So actually, your argument here then reduces to this. Andrew, nobody under the age of 26 should be dating. Because they're high in neuroticism, they make bad decisions, they make
There we
bad
go.
choices. So why should they ever date anybody until they're 26? They can't even make informed decisions. Why not raise the age of consent then to 26? Can you tell me why we shouldn't do that?
Because I mean, I think people who are 26 can just date each other.
Yeah, I know, but
Ah,
why shouldn't
you're not
we
even
raise the
understanding.
age to 26 if people can't make good decisions before the age of 26?
I don't think we should, because I think to a degree you are like an adult by the age of 18.
Well,
Like,
you're an
you are
adult, but you can't
capable of
choose who you
making-
date. You can choose to vote. You can choose to join the military. You can choose to do all of these. You can choose to smoke. You can choose to do all these things, but you can't choose who you date. Really?
You can choose who you date. I just think that
Oh,
the older
okay. So
person
why
would be.
why would it be immoral then for a 20-year-old to date a 50-year-old?
Can I make an argument?
Nah, no.
Can you let her finish hers?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sisterhood coming in, huh? Sisterhood. Nice job, Andrew.
I mean, just think about it. So first of all, like if you're a mother, you're competing in the same dating market as your daughter. You could potentially
No.
be talking to the same man.
Why is that
Like,
immoral?
It's disgusting. Like
Why?
Why is it immoral? If I use the argument that we should have no Q because I found it disgusting, would you accept that as an argument?
No, it's just that I think
No.
that
So then don't use disgusting as an argument. Tell me why it's morally wrong.
I just think it's morally wrong because again, like the older man would be taking advantage of the younger woman due to her having a lack of identity, and
But I don't disagree with
Then
you
why
when
are
you
they
say
Yo, Christian guy, you're simping right now, bro. You're simping right now. This is not the moment for you to jump in.
Allowed to date at all until they're 26 because if they're not competent enough at 20 to pick their partner, right? Why are we letting them pick their partners when they're incompetent? You are taking advantage of them, right?
no, because
By allowing
two
them to make those bad
20-year-olds
decisions?
like the two 20-year-olds don't have any advantage over each other.
I got a quick question here. Quick question for you. So your concern here is
Andrew was about to just lock her in, man, but we had to, I guess.
you said taking advantage of, right? So like predatory abusive, right? These age gap relationships are predatory abusive.
Predatory, sure. I mean,
Well,
what
you
do
said
mean by-
taking advantage
what kind
of.
of abuse are you talking about?
Well, you said taking advantage of, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so, but you would acknowledge that age gap relationships aren't always that way.
Maybe not, no.
Or do you think all age gap relationships, the older individual is taking advantage, as you put it, of the younger individual?
Yeah, generally, like their
Every-
naivety and
But could you imagine a singular age gap relationship where the older individual is not taking advantage of the younger individual?
maybe.
So what would your objection be in that case? If there's no taking advantage of, and it's an otherwise healthy relationship, the older individual has good intentions, what would be your argument against an
It
age
would
gap
still
relationship?
be in association with like the usual dynamic of that kind of relationship.
But I
What does
just,
that mean?
Can I butt in?
I said that there's good
No,
intention.
Christian God, you're not understanding. You cannot butt in. Reserve your ego. What they're trying to do is destroying her perspective and worldview. You're not understanding this. This is not your position.
I'm not going to investigate every single age gap relationship. Like, I'm just going
Yeah,
to
but
go
you're
based off of
admitting
what
that many age gap
I generally
relationships
see the
aren't evil.
patterns to be.
Well, but I very much agree with your point when you said that women should take
Oh my
a
God.
man's finances into consideration when they're dating. They should date for finances. But at the same time, if you flip it back around, I also think that men should be able to date for attractiveness.
I agree.
So you would agree with that. But in the case of a 50-year-old and a 20-year-old, that's just him exercising that right and saying, hey, I'm 50 years old. I want to date a young, attractive 20-year-old, like pure woman.
I think
Does that make sense?
He can go for 25s. Women in their mid 20s are still attractive.
But what if he wants a 20-year-old? There's no problem with him
there's
wanting a
style.
20-year-old.
There's actually
Whoa, wait,
scientific evidence that 20 to 23 is peak attractiveness to men of all ages.
All
for
ages,
women.
yeah. All ages, we know that.
So that's actually
That's
fact.
true.
Like,
That
I'm
is
not,
a good point.
I'm not
That-
trying to argue their point because I have been in a relationship where I was underage. In Georgia, the age of consent is 16. I was 17.
We're not talking about underage
And-
relationships.
Right, but
Hold
that's-
on,
but
no,
that's the age of
stop.
Oh,
consent.
she's trying to move the goalpost. That's why Brian is cutting it off.
So that was a relationship that I felt like was not
Hey.
fair because of the
Hey,
age gap.
moving
And
the
there is
goalpost.
a dynamic within those relationships
Yeah,
where
yes.
there is kind of an authority, on the man over the woman. So it's really just if you
She
think
messed
that
up
that's
their
appropriate in a
conversation.
relationship, then you think that an age gap is appropriate in a relationship. If you don't
There you
think
go.
that
Yeah, there you go. She just saved her. She just messed it up.
that's appropriate, then you don't think that is an appropriate relationship.
Hold on, I'd like
That's
you
the
to
argument.
I'd like you to repeat what you said.
Yeah, she's just trying to save her. Damn. Let me know what you guys think. I will see you next one.